Hi students, this is a video on factoring a trinomial with a leading coefficient greater than 1, hence this a here. A could be 1, but in this case we're talking about a being greater than 1. So an example of that would be 2x squared minus 7x minus 4. It gets a little more complicated than when we have a leading coefficient of 1. So let's have a look at this first one. I'm going to show you the way, there's many ways to do this. There's guess and check, there's using algebra tiles, there's a number of different ways. I'm going to show you using the diamond method and grouping. Okay, so it's diamond method and grouping. It's a little bit different than the way we use the diamond method in the other problem. In this case, we're going to make a diamond, but in this case, it's going to be multiplies to C. In this case, A is 2, C is negative 4. So multiplies to negative 8, adds to negative 7. Okay, so that's the big difference here. Multiplies to AC, adds to B, negative 7. Okay, so let's think about this. It's probably going to be 8 and 1. In this case, negative 8 and positive 1. Now, these are not my factors. It is not x minus 8, x plus 1, because this is much more complicated because we've got this 2 in front. So what happens with these? Let me show you here. Okay, so I wrote this out. Again at the top on the right here. 2x squared. 2x squared minus 7x minus 4. Okay, I'm going to bring my 2x squared straight down, and I'm going to bring my negative 4 straight down. The negative 8 and positive 1 become my middle terms. I'm breaking my negative 7x up into those a negative 8x and a positive 1x. Okay? So that's where these go. They go right over here, and they become my middle terms. Then I'm going to rewrite that again down here. 2x squared minus 8x plus 1x, you can leave off the 1, minus 4. Now I'm going to do grouping because I've got a polynomial with 4 terms. I'm going to try grouping. I'm going to factor out a 2x. I'm left with x minus 4 plus, and I've got x minus 4 there, so I need to put a 1 in because that's the only thing they have in common, x minus 4. Okay? And I end up with my greatest common factor here is x minus 4. Right? It's common here, and I'm left with 2x plus 1. We can multiply it back together to check it, and we get 2x squared plus x minus 8x minus 4, which I know is going to check because the x minus 8x is negative 7x. So it checks. These are my factors. Okay, I've broken down this trinomial into 2 factors. Let's try another one. Okay, here's another problem. 6x squared plus 11x minus 10. All right, so slightly bigger numbers, but that's okay. I'm looking for multiplies to AC. Multiplies to A times C. Well, A is 6, C is negative 10, okay? Adds to 11. So I'm thinking about factors of negative 60. Well, I've got 3 and 20. That's not going to work. I've got, let's see, 3 and 20. I've got 6 and 10. That's not going to make 11. I've got 12 and 5. I've got 15 and 4. 15 and 4. So I've got to think about all the different factors. 15 and 4 are going to make 11. So I've got a 15 this time and a negative 4, because that's going to give me a positive 11 and a negative 60. Okay, now remember, these are not our factors. These are our middle terms. So I'm going to bring down my 6x squared. I'm going to put in my middle terms. My 11x is being changed into 15x minus 4x. That's this, hang on, minus 4x. That is the same thing as 11x. Minus 10, that moves straight down. Now I'm going to do some grouping, right? And I get 3, I'm going to factor out a 3x, and I'm left with 2x plus 5. And I think I'm going to factor out a negative here. So I'm going to try that, minus 2, and I end up with 2x minus plus 5. Okay, so now I'm going to factor out the 2x plus 5. That's now my greatest common factor, and I'm left with 3x minus 2. I can multiply back together, and I will get my 6x squared plus 11x minus 10. Let's do it one more time so you can see a third example. I think you really are going to need to go through these examples together. Go through slowly one of these examples while you're doing your first couple problems, and that's going to help you. Okay, last problem here. So we're going to make our diamond. Multiplies to AC, which is going to be 5 times -5 or -25. Adds to -24. Hopefully, since you'll see they're 1 apart, I'm going to use 25 and 1, and -25 and a +1 are what's going to work here. These, again, are my middle terms. I'm taking this 24, -24x, and I'm making it -25x plus 1x. Okay? The others I'm bringing straight down, 5x squared minus 5. Then I'm going to group. And I'm going to factor out a 5x. I'm left with x minus 5 plus, I've got an x minus 5. I've got to put this 1 here. I've got to factor out that 1 in this case. And I end up with my greatest common factor is x minus 5. I'm left with 5x plus 1. All right, there you have it. Those are the factors. I suggest, as I said, when you're doing your homework, you pull one of these examples in front of you and you kind of follow through it step by step. These are not easy problems. Once you get this, you get it, but it takes a little time to kind of wrap your brain around it. So spend some time with these examples in front of you as you work through a few problems. All right, see you later.